it makes sense why the Smokers Club Festival is so popular. I mean, looking at the lineup, it is so deep and ingrained within hip-hop culture. It almost just doesn't make sense how they fit this much into just one day. But despite that, I still feel like a big majority of the people who attend festivals like this, when they see that Playboi Carti name on there, they're there. Carti has a diehard fan base, and I really think that came to show itself on stage the other day, as Carti only got to play 2 songs before his set was cut short. So let's take a look at that and why that happened and what this means for Carti's performances moving forward. So what happened at the show? Looking specifically at, the footage online, and there's a decent amount of it, even though it's all, vertical iPhone camera footage. There's a huge crowd, and it seems that there's a GA section and a stadium. But looking at the footage, it seems that the fans from the outer gates or the upside gates really started just pummeling and trying to go through and get into GA. I mean, looking at this footage right here, that's a lot of people. Like that is a group, a mosh of people trying to get in all at once. And as you can see, they're literally bringing gates over to stop the people, and there are security guards stuck in there. So this situation seemed to almost implode within itself of, this didn't have anything to do with, what Carti could see going on or anything like that, but it seemed to be almost an external issue where, it had to be radioed in like, hey, we have a problem, stop the show. Because they can't be reached, from one place to the other in terms of front of stage and all the way back here where they're trying to stop the brigade. That communication is made over the radio, which kind of makes the decisions like stopping the show a lot more immediate and a lot more important, because that communication is being delivered via radio. So it's like you can only see and understand so much of what's going on. So I understand why they stopped the show. And also worth noting is Smokers Club is ran by Live Nation. Live Nation runs the majority of all festivals worldwide. They are number 1, and more importantly, they ran Astroworld. So it makes sense that they are taking these immediate precautions when they feel like they have to. And I got fans in my TikTok comments also saying, the main problem was that they never told the crowd that the rails were broken. They just kept repeating, take 2 steps back, and everybody got upset. This person also said if they explained it, people would have cooperated, but nobody knew. And this is an interesting take, an interesting point, because I do agree with what they're saying of like, take 2 steps back is such a common, directive measure for concert safety that I think a lot of people don't think too much of it, because a lot of times that's the initial precaution, take 2 steps back, and then it gets more intensified from there. So I do agree where it's like, if the fans understood the scope of what was going on, I think there would maybe have been more of an immediate reaction. But at the same time, another part of venue and concert safety is not pointing out, oh, this is happening up here too, because that might initiate some panic within the audience, and that's something you want to prevent as well. But then within all of this, you have Carti in the middle of the stage giving us renditions of Rockstar Made in T-Nex that are just unbelievable to listen to. So yeah, it makes sense why it's hard to communicate, and it's hard to get the points across from the safety perspective to the fans' perspective. So I understand that. And we are in a time right now specifically where you have to err on the side of caution, because as we know, it can end up pretty dangerously. So now looking to the concert itself, I found this one clip of Carti performing, and you can quite literally pinpoint the moment where he knows his show is about to end. And it's sad because he's having such a good time. You got OG Volta up there, and you got this almost Yeezus-esque centerpiece that Carti's doing, and it looks beautiful, and sort of positioning him at the mountaintop of this centerpiece on stage is just such a cool thing. Not only that, but I'm sad it got cut short, because man, I think we would have gotten just an absolutely legendary performance from Carti here. Like oh man, because this feels like the first post Narcissist tour that is embracing what the Narcissist tour was. So, for my example, I saw Carti, as we all know, backstage Lala last year. That was right before the King Vamp stuff started up, right before he really started to ingrain that sort of physique, appearance and overall just mannerisms of just going wild and embracing that vampiric rock star aura that he's been building for a couple years. It seems like we were about to see that in daylight here, where people could actually see him, but that was unfortunately cut short. And we did get, like I said, a rendition of Rockstar Made and T-Nex, which is my favorite song on Whole Lotta Red. So I'm glad we got to at least see a preview of that. I feel bad for the fans there, obviously, but looking at this lineup, they had a lot of other artists to consume their time. But as we know, many people, myself included, would have traveled to this place to mainly see Playboi Carti give his performance. And also worth noting, the entirety of Opium was there. And we got Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, Homicide Gang, and Carti. And I think that is such an important moment for Opium, for Carti's label as a whole, because it's sort of showing they're all here. They've all made it to the point where they can, actually perform songs that have been released that fans are excited for. Like, it's all sort of coming together. It feels like they're outside of the building stage and they're into the place where people know who they are and they can continue to build their name organically through new music releases, because that association with Carti's already there. So the fans already have sort of an expectation of, these are the songs I want to hear from Ken, from Destroy Lonely, from Homicide, Bino, and Michi. And, they get to perform those songs and give just a real performance. Because it feels like, when they're playing on their smaller tours, it's for a select audience. But now when they're hitting the stages at Smokers Club, they are introducing themselves to such a wider audience. And like this festival is similar to Rolling Loud in that way, where it's like, these artists get to sort of show who they are to a vaster rap audience. People that, so let's say somebody like Ken Carson, you got somebody coming to the festival that likes Carti, likes Pierre Bourne, but maybe they don't know about the Opium label. And that is a perfect opportunity to show fans what you're all about. So I love the fact that they were all here. And we got video of Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Homicide Gang. And it seems that they all gave pretty great performance. Destroy Lonely clearly had no stylist going on, which, that's a decision. But I think that they all, didn't disappoint in terms of looking at the fans going crazy. Like, that's all you need. I think that's all you need, especially for these guys and where they're at specifically in their careers. So where's Carti going after this? Well, he's got Governor's Ball in New York in June, and then he is off to Europe to take some shows on in the Netherlands, Switzerland, and other spots. So yeah, kind of disappointing that we didn't really get to see his full performance. It'll be over a month until we see Carti perform again. But with that being said, do you guys expect any new music to come before he takes these Europe shows or anything like that? And what did you think about the show getting cut short? Was there anything that could have been done to stop it? Because in my case, I say no, but at the same time, when you are booking these festivals, you have to know the type of crowd that Playboi Carti will attract. Thank you, subscribe for more, and have a great rest of your week.